All right. Last question. This was mine for you guys, the new one. I kind of want to throw it out there because you're both, highly educated psychologists. You understand students. So the question is, do you think the ISD school-wide MAP testing will help the district moving forward in a post-COVID school? So people who don't know what MAP testing is, from now on, every year, the schools are going to be doing testing to see where our students are. And this is going to be graphed throughout their career here in Kennedale. And then this question was, I believe, for you first, Maria. Yes.
All right. I would say yes, absolutely. I think it's great that Kennedale is using the MAP testing. Other districts have used it for a bit. So that's good that we are finally using that. It's going to be administered 3 times a year. And again, it's going to be a snapshot that will follow the student through their educational career. So throughout the year, beginning of the year, middle of the year, end of the year, and again, when they start their next school year, you're going to be able to see where they're at and they're going to be able to progress. The thing that's also great about MAP testing is you're going to be able to do targeted interventions, right? So that it will be able to say where the skill deficits are and where the skill strengths are. You'll be able to do targeted interventions. So that should be able to help close some of these achievement gaps in a little bit quicker fashion, if you will, because we're really targeting what the needs are. So I think where it's really going to be valuable post-COVID, right? Because we are probably going to have some additional gaps. We already know that things have been challenging as it is, and we started off, so to speak, with achievement gaps, right? We started the game with achievement gaps, and now we've got COVID overlay on that. So I think these assessments are going to be really needed for the teachers to be able to see where are my students at, and I've already got to be closing gaps, and I've got to be moving on to the next year, but they may not have grasped everything that they should have grasped last year. So I think it is going to be a very valuable tool with a lot of information that's really going to benefit the teachers, the students themselves, and the parents as well. So yes, absolutely. I think MAP is awesome.
So Mike, they're saying that the second grade is the biggest concern right now out of all the grades, and the MAP testing kind of signifies that. What's your thoughts on the MAP testing?
Well, I think the MAP testing certainly is a step forward in things. I mean, I think it's going to be a good tool. I mean, certain students have more difficulty with testing, so I don't think you can ever rely totally on the test to totally accurately assess a child. But I think this is certainly a step up. Now, what will be critical here will be if we stay with it long enough to have actual longitudinal data. Where we tended to mess up, in my opinion, in Texas, is we tend to start with an assessment approach, then we'll go for a few years, we'll stop and go with something else, and it makes it almost impossible to get a good, accurate, longitudinal picture of things. But if we actually do stay with that, then yes, I think it can be a really useful tool. Now, again, this post-COVID thing, we've all got ideas about what's going to happen. No one really knows.
Yeah.
I think the one thing we do know is that we're going to have kids who have significant gaps. How big and where those gaps are at, they're probably going to depend some on the child. What they've had, how much work they've had on some of the going to be all over the place. So it's going to be a really interesting year next year.
It's going to be a challenging year.
Absolutely.
It is. And it's again, kind of one of those good times to not be a teacher, I would guess.
Absolutely. My internet's leaving it again. There we go. Got you guys. I heard all that. It was just the video kind of let up. Yeah, absolutely. And
when Jeff, while I'm talking, it's frozen and your eyes are shut. Now either it's frozen or either you're sleeping. I'm not sure which.
Oh, COVID. Oh, these Zooms. Yeah, and I agree with you guys. I wouldn't want us to do it for 3 years and not, like, if we're going to do it, we should do pre-K to seniors.
Yeah.
But we should always make sure that it's evolving, progressing. At the same time, as somebody who does, marketing for businesses, I look at analytics all the time, and they don't necessarily tell you if my clients are making fun money. They're just telling me information that I need to know, like how many people are coming, what are they doing there. And then overall the year, what happened? What happened in May? Why did we dip? Was it our fault? Was it something in the system? So that's how I look at those analytics. As long as we're using them as a tool and never use it as a whipping
Right.
tool, I'm all for it. I never want it to be coming back, well, now they can't graduate the 8th grade, like
Right.
statewide testing.
No, no.
Okay, guys. Well, I'll give you
Well, I
guys,
think the other-
go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I was just going to say the other piece of that, Jeff, is that I think teachers have to be careful that they're not just teaching. We
Sure.
fall into a trap. Sometimes we teach for the test. And we can use a lot of time teaching for a test. Ultimately, maybe to get a better score on the test, but does it help the kid really gain more skills? That's up to debate.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, go ahead. You were headed somewhere.
Oh, no,
I
and,
interrupted you.
we always thought growing up, I'm never going to use this math and stuff like that, but it really is a skill set. It's that's what we were learning, is how to approach things. And yeah, we might not remember exactly how to do algebra, but it does come in handy a lot, doesn't it? And
Yes.
we utilize it. And so these are tools, again, these are skill sets that we're using, that I thought would use, but I do. So, so all right, that's all the question, guys. And I'll do a closing. I'll let you guys do a closing. But first of all, let me thank you both for doing this and extending the time. I know that's almost 2 hours. It's going to be our longest one ever for sure. But I think you guys.
Two psychologists. What do you think, Jeff? Two psychologists. Come on.
You guys are
Absolutely.
on a whole different level. I learned a lot, and we could really get down to the nitty gritty with you guys as well. So I appreciate your questions. They were very, very specific, and I think there's a lot of things that we covered that a lot of people have been talking about and concerned about. So with that in mind, I want to thank everybody at home. Kennedale News, thanks you for showing up to the coffee chat. I'll be hopefully one more out here for place 1, I believe it is. And then I will have place. Yeah, this is place 3. I'm at for Sean and Bitchell. And then I will try to invite the third candidate who's unopposed on for everybody, just to kind of have a one-on-one chat with you so she can introduce herself to you guys. And I appreciate everybody watching at home. So with that being said, Dr. Douglas, why don't you take the first closing?
All right. Thank you. Thank you. I want to thank you again, Jeff, for hosting it, and Kennedale Rotary Club for hosting this, and Mike for agreeing to this. It's always good, to have discussions and share ideas and thoughts. As I kind of said in the beginning, as a psychologist, I really value education and very passionate about education and child advocacy. And that is really why I'm running for school board. It's just a natural next step to combine those two passions and then serve my community as a school board member. 2 other mottos that I kind of try to live by is, you're either part of the solution or you're part of the problem. Right. And so that's one of the things that I really wanted to do is, be part of the solution, and always make our good better and our better best. So that's why I'm really passionate about what I'm doing, and why I'm very intentional about seeking this position. I've never characterized it as sort of a moment of temporary insanity or anything like that. I would never characterize it like that. I've been very intentional and deliberate, that I'm really passionate about it, and really have the energy and the dedication and the time that I really want to focus on helping the community, helping the school board, helping our students. Because it sounds cliche that the students are our future, but they really are. And we owe it to them to have the very best school district. And so that's why I sit before you to try to offer my skills, my board experience, my passion, to make a contribution to move the district forward. So appreciate the consideration and the vote. And again, appreciate the dialogue tonight.
All right. Thank you. Dr. Walker?
Jeff, again, I'll extend my thank you also to you and the Rotary Club for hosting this. I think it's been interesting. Hopefully it's been informative. Maria, thank you for participating with me. Let me say I have a great deal of respect for Maria. Her work with families is amazing. I did consulting work years ago with failed adoptions and foster families, and that can be so heartbreaking, and yet it's so needed, people to work in that area. If elected, I'm sure Maria will bring her talents, her gifts, and to this board, and will do great. Speaking of myself, I have a great love for this district. My kids and grandkids are tied to this district. My daughter served on the school board. I've got 30 plus years association with our schools, served on numerous KISD boards, been a volunteer counselor, chaperone, school board member, board president. And I would just say if you're listening and you think my experience and training could help this district and could help the school board, then I hope you'll vote for me in the upcoming election.
Well, luckily I got to Maria first because she dropped call. But wow, Kennedale, I mean, what an amazing chat this has been to me. Definitely a memorable one for me moving forward. I think it's a tough choice. I know both candidates will answer any questions you guys have. Mike, go ahead. Since I have you, go ahead and plug how people can get in contact with you.
Well, you can, if you'd like to get in contact with me through my Facebook page, Dr. Mike Walker for KISD School Board President, or I'm sorry, School Board Place 3, not President, School Board Place 3. And you can message me and get with me there. And I think my phone number is even on the web, on the Facebook page. You can text me or call me.
And on behalf of Maria, guys, if you go to the Kennedale News and look at their press releases, I believe her information for contacts on that, or reach out to Kennedale News, and I'll be happy to connect you guys to Maria if you have questions to her. And we'll see you at the next one, guys. This is Jeff Navarro reporting with Kennedale News.